Hi, I'm Mia Schulte and I'm coming to you again from the Ursay Family YMCA at Cityway. I'm in our teaching kitchen and I'm going to bring you another healthy snack today. I wanted to thank you for being a part of our Y and supporting us during this time, and I'm excited to show you what we have planned. A little bit about me before we get started. I'm the Teaching Kitchen Operations Director here, and I oversee everything that happens in our teaching kitchen, from youth cooking classes, adult cooking classes, anything like that that goes on in here. And yeah, so let's get started with our recipe. Today we'll be doing my version of apple donuts. Still getting those fun flavors in, but doing something a little bit healthier. And customizable just based on what your little ones like on their donuts, things like that. And just to start, I'll talk about the ages. If you have a really young one, say like 2 to 4 years old, I'd recommend you helping them assemble everything, definitely doing all of the cutting and preparations, and maybe just letting them do the toppings so that they get excited about what they're eating. If you have maybe 5 to 8 year old, you can do the cutting for them as well, just using big knives for this activity. And they can probably start with the spreading, working on those fine motor skills using the butter knife, something that's not sharp, and then they can do their own toppings. And then I'd say around 9 and up, but again with parents' best judgment, they can probably help with the cutting portion, or at least the coring of the apple, and then they can definitely do the spreading and the topping. So with those things in mind, I'll get started and show you how we're going to do our recipe today. I have specifically bought apples that are a little bit wider. It makes for a larger base on our apple donuts. So I washed my apple before I got started, and now I'll take my large knife, hold my apple on my cutting board, and cut just the base off. That part will be kind of smaller, and then I'll do probably 1/2 inch cuts just to have a few discs out of each apple. Just being careful as I go. So now I have a few slices to work with. The next thing I have is an apple core. This has been a great tool to have in the kitchen for this particular activity, but you could easily use a paring knife and cut the seeds out too. This just gives it a pretty professional look. So I'll use the core, and it gives you a little apple donut. So I have everything prepared, and the next thing I'll do is start thinking about my toppings. So I know that visually a lot of little kids like the look of sprinkles, so I'm going to start with a sprinkle apple donut. And I'll start by using Nutella. I also have peanut butter that we'll use. You could easily use frosting, cream cheese. You could put jam on it if you wanted to, or even sunflower seed butter if you need a nut-free alternative. I will spread it out. The apples are a little bit moist, so I'll definitely go slowly when I spread it just so that everything sticks. And they don't have to be too pretty because they'll still be tasty. All right, so I have my Nutella spread out, and then I'm going to start with some sprinkles and just top it, and it looks like a donut. So that's our first example. The next one I'll do is probably gonna be, I would say, peanut butter and chocolate chips. And again, I have natural peanut butter today. I look for peanut butter that only has peanuts and maybe salt as an ingredient. It is a little bit healthier. There's no additives, but you can definitely use whatever peanut butter or nut butter you have at home. And I'll spread it out. And then I will take chocolate chips and just sprinkle them around the outside. And that's what it looks like. And I have a few that I prepared beforehand just to show you, but I have peanut butter and mini M&Ms, Nutella and crushed peanuts. I just took peanuts I had on hand and crushed it in the food processor, and just the other ones that we worked on. But this is a fun and easy recipe you can do at home. You might have a lot of these things on hand anyway, so it shouldn't be too labor intensive, or you shouldn't have to buy a lot of things. And it's fun for people of all ages. It still looks like you're eating a donut, but it's a little bit healthier. I appreciate you joining us today, and I'm so happy that I got to share this recipe with you, and keep an eye out for recipes in the future. Thanks as always for supporting the YMCA.